Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Tough Girl Challenges. Today is Thursday and I'm going to be heading down to London in the next couple of hours. So I just wanted to do a quick vlog to tell you a little bit more about my journey and how I got to the start line. So I got my Marathon des Sables band, which I actually got back in 2014 because September 2014 was when I first decided that I was going to do the MDS, and I signed up for it, and the plan was to do the race in 2015, and that's what I started training towards. So I started training, hit it hard. I thought the more miles I could do, the better. The more training, the more strength training, the more yoga, the more swimming, the more boxing, the more running. Everything was just win, win, win. So I had an amazing couple of months, and I went from doing very little running all the way up to running a marathon distance in October, and I felt so, so good. And then it all slowly started to slide downhill. I could never really put my finger on the point, but I started to get like major bad leg cramps at night, and I thought, okay, it must be my training. I'll get some compression gear, so I bought compression gear. Then I was waking up hungry and starving. I thought, okay, well, I'm obviously doing so much training. I need to eat more food. So I was going downstairs in the middle of the night to eat, and I just couldn't actually get enough food in. But I kept losing more and more weight. So that was another sign. What else happened? Couldn't wake up in the morning, and I thought, well, maybe I'm suffering from that SAD disorder. So I got one of those special lights to, wake me up naturally. That didn't help. I was getting lethargic and tired and run down. I had no energy. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm a very sort of high energy person. But I was just starting to feel more and more horrendous. And I wasn't able to actually put a finger on anything. And it got to a really low point. I can't remember if I mentioned this in a vlog or not. I'm sure I've mentioned it in a podcast. But I went for a run over Christmas because I'm a big believer. If you're not feeling great, go and do something. Go for a walk, get outside, get some fresh air. So I headed out at Christmas to go for a run down the prom. I made it about a mile, and in my head I was saying, keep running, you can do this, Sarah, run, run, run. And I got a mile in, and my body just stopped. It was no more. So I remember I was sat down and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. I felt horrendous. I burst into tears, walked back feeling really dejected, feeling really low and just really depressed in myself about why am I like this. So got under the covers. It just, sort of ended up being sort of bedbound pretty much between Christmas and New Year. Just could not do anything, and I had no desire to do anything. I had no energy. There was like no life in me. I ended up seeing a doctor. So this is now MDS was now 4 months away, and he was basically like, you cannot do this race. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll postpone it for another year. And the next 6 months were possibly the hardest months I've ever had. I had to stop training. I had to change my diet completely, and it was just horrendous. It was like the lowest lows I think I've ever had. But there are a couple of people who I do want to massively thank. I went to see a naturopath, and she was phenomenal, just helping me sort out my diet, change my eating, really get to the root of why I was feeling so horrendous. And it wasn't just my diet, there was loads of other things sort of going on. I was severely anemic, I was suffering from candida, which is like a yeast infection but all over your body, and it sort of got into my bloodstream and was all in my organs and everything. So she was phenomenal, and that massively made me reflect more on my health and my wellness and what I was doing, and started to realise that actually when you're training, it's not all about increasing the mileage and doing loads and loads. It's actually about being sensible with your training. So the second person I really want to thank is Jack Clover, he was my personal trainer, and he was from the Underground Training Station, a fantastic gym that I go to in Hoylake on the Wirral. And I think when I started training with him in June and July, like even doing stretches and trying to do push-ups, it was just really slow going. And when I told him my goal, like, yes, I want to run MDS in 2016, he was like, okay, right. But he always encouraged me. And what I really liked about Jack was that he was always asking about my health, like how was I sleeping, how was my hydration, how was my food, how was I feeling training wise, did I want and he was using that to judge what we would do in training. So that was amazing. So I ended up doing training with Jack for about 6 months up until December, and that was like my strength building phase, where I went from being incredibly weak and incredibly run down. I think I could maybe only deadlift like maybe 30 or 40 kgs, and ended up going up to 100 kgs. My body weight was like 60 or 62 or something. So by Christmas I was super strong. I was super lean. I think my body fat was like 14%. and feeling really, really great. So then we moved on to phase 3, which was the endurance phase. And that was when I headed over to Australia and started training. So the third people I want to thank are actually my family over in Australia. So Christopher, Julia and Grace for having me to stay. So, they had me for 3 months. I was eating them out of house and home, but it was a fantastic opportunity just to train in the heat and to do the preparation for the Marathon des Sables. So I was in a much stronger position than I am now. But one of the things I actually wrote at the beginning of the year, I always write down my goals of what I want to achieve. And I wrote down my number one goal for 2016 was the Marathon des Sables. And I've said I want to arrive at the start line strong, fit, healthy, confident, prepared and ready. My peak of physical fitness. Have a plan for training and follow it. Have a plan for the race and have a plan for the rest and the recovery. So the race is actually tomorrow, and I'm looking back at this and thinking, actually, do you know what? I feel strong, I feel fit, I do feel healthy, I'm starting to feel confident about it, I do feel prepared, and I do feel as though I'm at the peak of my physical fitness. I look back at the training I've done, and sometimes it shocks me when I look at like the amount of miles and when I've done like back-to-back training sessions, and it sort of does give me that sort of added confidence. So I know I'm ready. So it's just, for me, it was all about getting to the start line in this strong, fit, healthy and happy place, which is what I'm going to be doing, which is absolutely fantastic. So the race is starting tomorrow. So on Friday morning, we fly out to Morocco. We're then taken by coach driven out into the desert for 5 or 6 hours, and then we're put up in tents. The race actually starts. We have a medical check day on the Saturday, so they go through your kit and everything, and check that you've got all the essential items like your ECG and your essential kit and everything. And the race starts on Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. So you can actually track me, you can follow me live and see my progress. So my race number is 1213. You just have to go to the website. All the information is on Tough Girl Challenge's Facebook page. It's also on my website. So do come and track me. I'm not planning to be an elite runner, so don't expect me at the very, very front. I'm also hoping I'm not going to be right at the very, very back. But actually, when you do a race like this, it's not actually about, well, for me, it's not about the competition with other people. I want everybody to do well in the race, and for me, I just want to make sure that I get round and I complete the race. That is my goal: complete the race and hopefully not destroy my feet in the process. But I just want to say a massive thank you again to everybody who has supported me and helped me. I've received so many incredible emails and tweets and direct messages, and you know who you are. I haven't managed to respond to you all yet, but I will get around to it. But I honestly really appreciate all of the kind words that people have sent to me and all these private messages saying how, just being really, really kind with their words. And I really do appreciate that. So this is my final vlog before I head off. And obviously when I come back, I'll be doing a podcast interview for my own podcast. So you'll be able to hear more about my story and my journey as we chat through. I'll probably do some vlogs as well. But do come and track me, my race number 1213. And just think while you're all sort of sat here or sat at home, I'll be basically slogging across the desert for 6 or 7 hours at a time. So it's going to be exciting. Anyway, I will speak to you all when I get back.